I guess he had made some money when he was down there in Egypt.
I was thinking about reading the Bible. Wrote a song about it. Not here, here it goes.
I don't know much about the Bible, but I do know how to read. And if you know how to subscribe, I'd say that's a match made in heaven. Welcome back. Not a Christian, never read the Bible, but it's an important book, so let's see what's in it. All right, so last chapter we read was the Call of Abram, chapter 12. There he traveled to Egypt, and the Pharaoh of Egypt took his wife because she was so beautiful, and then eventually kicked him and his wife out of Egypt. You can go back and watch that episode if you want to know details of that. But this chapter we're going to read is chapter 13, Abram and Lot Separate. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. I guess he had made some money when he was down there in Egypt. Okay, good. It worked out well for him and his wife and the Pharaoh in the end. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and gold, and he journeyed on from the Geb as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been at the very beginning, between Bethel and Ai. It's a city named Ai. Between Bethel and Ai, to the place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abram called upon the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support both of them dwelling together. For their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites were dwelling in the land. Then Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. It is not the whole whole land before you? Separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand and I go to the right, or if you take the right hand, then I go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered, everywhere like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, in the direction of Zoar. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. Okay. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had separated from him, "Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land that you will see I will give to you and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted." A lot of people. "Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you." So Abram moved his tent and came and settled by the oaks of the Mamre, which are at Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord. Okay, so the last chapter, Abram and his wife went down out of the famine that was plaguing, I guess, Canaan, and went into Egypt. When the Pharaoh of Egypt saw Abram's wife, so it was so beautiful, he took her for his wife, and they kind of made a deal, him and his wife. Anyways, I'm not going to explain the whole story, but whatever that deal was, they stayed there for a while, and it looks like Abram and Lot became very, very rich while they were down there in Egypt. So when they came back up after the famine, they had so much, so many herds, so many animals, so much riches that they had to split, and one went down to some where Sodom was, and one went into Canaan. Okay, I think that's it. Probably just a setup for the next chapter. You gotta step back a little bit and kind of set up for the next thing. Have a little of a boring chapter, and then we'll spring it up in the next chapter. See you next time. New chapters every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.